Anyway, that led me to this very, very interesting. It's not really a cult, but it is
That's what they
associated
all
with.
say. It's
No,
not really a cult.
no, it's not. It's not. But it's associated with a lot of black magic, right? And this is about this village in Assam called Mayong.
Last weekend when we were at a friend's place, where you didn't come, you couldn't come for some. You
Yeah.
had a jam or something, right? So Ashmita said some controversial things.
What?
Like the bread
always
thing. Would you
says.
like to explain your bread thing?
Oh my God. Okay. There was no. It wasn't controversial. It was a mistake. Okay. So we were playing.
That's how controversies are born,
we-
out of mistakes.
We were playing
Fair.
20 questions. No. Yeah. No.
No.
What
we
were
were
we playing?
we were playing taboo.
Taboo. Yeah. So we were playing Taboo. And are you going to beep out the names or should I just
If I
not?
must, that's why I said one of
So
our
don't-
friends. He
yeah,
understood.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
Don't take names.
So, actually, for Prakhar, the story is going to be more fun if there are names
Sure.
involved. So you just beep out the names,
Sure.
okay? So, me and we were in the same team, and asked me, as in she asked the question that, what do you do to bread, right? And in my head, for some reason, I heard,
What do you do to bed?
No, what do you do to breed? Like I was like, she's talking about breeding. So immediately I was like, sex. And these guys, she's like, to bread. To bread. Answers, toast. And they did not let me, like, they will not let me live it down for the rest of my life. But that entire party's theme became sex with bread after that.
Yeah, Ashmita gets hot for a good loaf of bread. Now we know that.
It just got. So basically, it was a mistake. I did not say controversial things.
Bread and breakfast.
Yeah. Ekdam oozing at the sight of bread.
Sex pakode.
What? What is that?
Bread pakode. Instead of bread pakode,
Sex pakode.
Ew. That was
Sex
so weird.
pakode does sound bad though.
Yes.
That is true.
Oozing did not sound bad.
No, oozing is fine.
Gee.
Oozing is in fact an Instagram trend or even TikTok trend.
What do you
know,
mean?
foods that ooze. You know, they do that. They fill up something, most likely bread, with something. Like, they
For you,
make
Ashmita,
something
it's bread.
or something like a lava cake or something. They'll cut and then they'll do the
Oh, yeah,
cross section thing, and there's a lot of ooze coming out.
There's a lot of
sells.
ASMR videos. Like
Yeah.
This also.
Ooze sells on TikTok and now in India, Instagram and MX Takatak, I guess. I don't know.
MX Takatak.
By the way, remember we got a project for some similar app.
We
Yeah.
did not.
We were trying for that. We didn't
Yeah.
get that, I think.
This is during our Melbourne days
Yes,
only.
Yeah,
yes.
We were. It was not. Was it for that app or was
For
it
the app.
for,
No,
for the app?
Yeah.
It was
Because I
for
remember
an
I was told I need to give some saste ideas, cheap ideas basically.
I don't know why this was. I personally I disagreed with this reputation of yours that for all the
it was all in humor, right? It was never like
No, but no. Some of our teammates they were
yeah.
very serious about it.
They
But
didn't know
but they
any
were
better.
not very smart
Yeah.
people, Prakhar.
that's I know
Yes,
that now.
let's name them also. No.
No, let's not.
Okay, we are going to go to what is now my topic, which I decided to change right at the last minute.
But what compelled you to change though?
So the topic that I was preparing before was climate change related, okay? And one, I keep harping about it, and second, I feel like there are different levels of interest, different, how much you want to be involved in climate change related things and everything. For me, because it's a very integral part of life. My work is also over there, so that's why I'm more involved over there. but I felt like I should space it a little bit out.
Thank you.
Especially because the recording that we are re-recording now, the last episode that we decided to scrap because it wasn't great.
Yeah.
There, I saw both of you like with glazed
I
eyes.
was zoned out. Genuinely, I was zoned out.
Literally glazed
I
eyes.
genuinely don't remember what the topic was.
Yes, which is why I'm going to do it again.
I wasn't
But-
ready to admit it, but when I saw Sandy, I was like, wait a second, let's just admit it. We were zoned out.
So when I saw you both basically just zoning out, and essentially the topic where you zoned out, it is an extremely interesting topic to me. Like I read like two
Yeah, yeah.
scientific papers on it.
I'm
and everything.
absolutely not debating that.
Yeah. So then I was like, okay, let's do some other things as well because I do have other interests, right?
But one thing people know for sure is that you love to rant. So
Yeah.
Or I will be doing that here also.
I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure.
So I got this idea from this show I was watching. So I don't know if you all have seen the show on Netflix. Of course, Sandy, I know you haven't. I don't know, Prakhar, if you have seen this show. It's called Mandala Murders.
Yeah.
Yeah? And people were raving about it.
I told you about the show because I remember
Acha, he had mentioned it last
because
time.
I
Yes,
was
yes,
I
yes.
was in a zone to watch cheap shows.
Yeah.
And so I watched this and I told you guys that you should watch this Mandala Murders.
I watched it. I
Okay.
watched the whole thing.
Is it
Yeah.
is it Mandala or is it Mandala?
I do not
mean,
know.
you
It should
guys
be
have watched the show.
ideally
You should
Mandala.
know.
It's not double A, right? If it's double A, then
Yes.
Mandala.
Okay.
Mandala sounds to me like a white person saying mandala, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Let me look it up.
A bunch of us in India were saying Avatar.
Yes.
For Avatar,
yes,
I was like,
yes,
why are you
exactly,
doing that?
exactly.
Okay.
Let me look it up. Mandala. It's actually Mandala.
Mandala.
Yeah.
What does
M-A-N-D-A-L-A.
mandala? What does mandala actually mean?
Mandala is also a place.
Ah.
I don't know if it's related to the place. If it's not,
No.
mandala also, you know those mandala patterns.
Yeah, it's related to that.
So
Yeah.
probably could be that then.
Then they were also pronouncing it incorrect in the show. So yeah, it started off with a good storyline. Went towards this old ass misogynistic direction. I did not appreciate it at all by the time it ended, and it was just overall just a bad show. But it is centered around a lot of cult things and everything, so that's what got me interested, and I started looking up
Cults?
like black magic cult and everything. And that's sort of the most famous thing from my part of the country as well, the east and northeast.
Yeah.
Right. It's not really a cult, but it is
That's what they
associated
all
with-
say. It's not really a cult.
No, it's not. It's not. But it's associated with a lot of black magic, right? And this is about this village in Assam called Mayong. Mayong is a little further away from Guwahati. Why can't I say Guwahati? And it's along the river, right? Brahmaputra River. So
Is that village famous for something else also? Because I've heard this name before.
Mayong?
Yeah.
basically for black magic
No,
balls. Yeah.
Are you thinking of Mahjong,
no.
the game?
No. Mayong.
But
I've
also,
heard that name.
You might have heard it in relation to the one-horned rhinos as well.
Possible.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's also a part of the.
Okay.
And Assam, of course, has, Assam has Kaziranga, so all the one-horned. It is the national park for one-horned rhinos. Okay, but anyway, the black magic thing is, becomes, and I'm going to give you this pretext before, right? This context before. The black magic thing typically does not originate from the place that is being talked about. It's usually it's usually a reflection of either some antics people are seeing or things that they don't really understand, and they are very comfortable labeling it as weird magic and everything. And yes, people within the states also do that. For example, in my family, I come from a Bengali family, right? Whenever there used to be certain things that were unexplainable, which can be very well just coincidences, right? People were fully convinced that there was somebody, and they also would name the person who was doing black magic, which was invariably the person they did not like.
Same with my family also.
Yeah, no, nonsense. Okay.
Yes.
So, but this Mayong thing, I started reading about it. The amount of mainstream media coverage has been insane. It is, the Times of India wrote an article calling it the land of black magic, witchcraft, and necromancy. Okay, it's like fully mainstream coverage. Okay, so what's the myth? What's this village known for, and how did it come about? Right, Mayong's this whole black magic myth started like any other Indian magical myth, which is that they also had indigenous medical practices. Okay, and this was before modern medicine. People didn't understand a lot of those things, so they started putting this air of mystery and mystic around it, right? Especially this exasperated when British colonizers came in.
Exacerbated. Exasperated is totally different.
Yes, that is what I am mostly, but exacerbated when British colonizers came in.
Yes.
Yeah. And they were basically just terrified of all indigenous medical practices.
That's how the witch trials also began, no?
That's how the witch trials also began. Okay, and they dismissed all of these practices as occult practices, and they are backward and everything. Okay, and then there were other oral stories that were passed down. Right, this is something that happens very often in our small communities. I don't know if you all had this. There were local ghosts.
Yeah.
When we were children and we used to go to my grandmother's place, there were stories that were particular to ghosts that used to hang around in that area.
It was their community meeting ground or something. No, yeah.
What? I've never heard anything.
Yeah.
Like, I know people talk about ghosts, yes.
Not directly like this, but I am aware of these kind of things usually, especially in like smaller areas or smaller communities. This is very prevalent.
Yeah, they legitimately have local ghost stories.
Also, it is a form of entertainment also, no?
Yeah.
You have to understand that.
For
It's
entertainment, yes.
It's our version of sitting around in a campfire. And
I love stories like this with a campfire, like in a campfire.
yeah, except we do not have campfire, but we had those. We had those stories, right? So those are oral histories. Those have been passed down, okay, and that has led to this myth of Mayong being the center of black magic, so to say. Okay, and what the myth is that the Oja or Bays, what they call, which is the traditional medical practitioners, right? They might or might not be doctors. Okay, most likely aren't, but they not in terms of modern medicine. But then at that point of time, new indigenous practices.
They are quote
of
unquote
medicine.
healers of some kind.
Healers, right? Yeah, and apparently it got really bad. Like the myth got really bad. So they said they can make people disappear into thin air. Okay.
So could PC Sarkar, by the way.
He could make trains also disappear.
There was a rumor, no? He made the Taj Mahal disappear or
Yes.
something. PC Sarkar, you remember?
I don't know why
Once
you're
he
saying
went from
Sarkar.
school, that's how it's written, Sarkar.
It's written Sarkar.
No.
Okay, never mind.
Anyway, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Yeah.
Okay, so, so he could disappear, make them disappear into thin air. He could turn them into animals, Oja or Bays, and invariably he, right?
Of course. Yeah.
He could also turn himself into animals. I don't know why such a diverse shape-shifting sort of this thing. And of course could magically heal people, right? That was the main part, right? And this then became this myth that in modern times, after British colonizers left and everything, became such a big thing because also archaeologically they started finding different things. And mainland India
Who
has
started finding things?
people who would dig up for different wells and everything. They're like there was never a proper archaeological mission there. It was just randomly people finding things, right? And as is very, very, very typical of mainland India, everything northeast was either considered backward or was romanticized or was pushed to the sidelines and everything. And they found naturally swords and all of these things ranging from different eras. And they said these are representative of performing human sacrifices. Which I must mention was not uncommon in many parts of the world.
Yes,
Right? It's not just restricted to Assam. But it became a huge thing. And when I was reading about it, the myth took me to the worst article I have ever read, dude. It is genuinely the most badly written thing I have ever read, and I have read Twilight. Okay, so it is
All the Twilight
Was how,
fans,
like,
we're
the
coming for you.
language or the
the writing, and like everything. Okay, so this is on this. We'll of course put the links. This is on this website called Tribo. Tribo.
Tribo, isn't it a travel platform?
Yes,
or
it's a
something?
budget hotels
yeah,
platform.
yes.
Okay, so their blog.
Ah,
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
some news.
It
News
must be,
also- news
it
also
must be an
comes-
SEO exercise of some kind.
It 100% is. Okay, and news also. I will get to the news. They are also quite bad.
No, people from the West, they're very interested in all of this, no? It sells stories like this
Tribo
about
is
India.
ours.
No, for SEO activity for the Western people. It's like
Yeah.
They read and then they come here.
But
no?
it was it was just very badly written. So I'll quote out some material. But before that, there our story section, where they detailed out their story, is even more ridiculous than the blog. Okay, so I'm going to quote out a little bit. It says Tribo derives its name from Bo tree.
What is Bodh tree?
The fig tree under which Gautam Buddha attained enlightenment.
Bodh tree is what you said.
Bo tree is what they say.
What?
It is Bodh tree. That is why I'm laughing. It's ridiculous. It gets worse. The fig tree family, banyan tree people amongst others, has inspired not just our name but also what we do. Now listen to this. They continue. In many ways, these trees were the earliest form of budget hotels. Offering shelter to travelers without discriminating between the rich and the poor. We too are obsessed about offering quality accommodation at affordable prices. Absolutely ridiculous, okay? So I'm not going to
I'm
read out
speechless.
I'm definitely not reading out the whole our story part, but let's go to the worst article ever, right? Now it starts off with a section. First, it starts off with SEO bullshit, okay? Then it starts off with a section called History of Mayong. Listen to what this says. You must be wondering how an entire village is known for its black magic practices. Well, villagers here engage in various spells and tantric rituals. What? What, friend?
Various what?
Spells.
Spells.
Expensive petroleum.
And then proceeds to give zero evidence to this claim. Like there is no detail here. They just fully made a random ass claim.
That's
okay?
every news channel these days, by the way.
News.
That's every news channel, by the way.
That is true.
Yeah.
So then this article goes on to detail Mayong in like mythology and history and everything. They mention Mayong in Mahabharata. I don't know if that's true because I haven't
I
read
don't
it.
recall.
And then there was a case of an entire Mughal army apparently disappearing into thin air.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it was when they were crossing through the forests. So Mughal ruler Muhammad Shah. I don't remember this ruler.
I only remember the OGs.
Yeah, I also remember.
I don't remember any other.
But
be
there were
one of the
smaller. There were smaller rulers as well.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
One of the cousins, maybe.
So he sent apparently an army of 100,000 horsemen, okay, who disappeared in the
But send them there for what?
at that time the Ahom kingdom was ruling. So this is 1337 CE, right? And he sent, of course, to conquer, and all of those people apparently disappeared.
I think this is akin to that, like it's some sort of scam. I think one of the first earliest scams this is. Yes, we've sent 100,000 people, but they didn't have the budget. They didn't have the budget, but they had the documentation to show that 100,000 people have been sent.
First
And the
ever evidence of a scam.
One of the first recorded scams ever.
So this article, the Tribo article, does go and does mention about these two, accounts for which there are no historical records, obviously. Then comes weirdest, discussion I have ever read. So this author, the writer of the article says,
Author.
then I had to correct myself. While the above legends highlight the involvement of history and mythology, this one is different with an exclamation mark. According to the local narratives, a sorcerer, in parenthesis, black magician, knew the exact spells or mantras of shapeshifting. He used these spells to turn himself into an animal and get back to the human form again. While he used these spells to protect the village, he also stole the agricultural gains of other villagers. Upon finding this, another sorcerer was curious. He instantly asked the first sorcerer to share the mantra for shape-shifting practice.
Instantly.
Yes. Listen to this. Upon receiving the denial, who talks like this? Upon receiving the denial, he cast a spell on the first sorcerer, leading to a rivalry of spells. I think what she meant is they fought.
Oh, this
They
must
duelled.
be like that Mahabharat fights,
Yeah.
One arrow is coming from this side, one arrow is
And
coming
this is
from
the
this
spell.
side.
This is the...
So basically, the spells are coming. One is yellow in color, one is blue in color. In the middle, they meet.
They
and then
meet. Yeah.
This is the Harry Potter Voldemort last scene.
Mahabharat is the OG fight.
Yeah.
Nothing beats the Mahabharat fight scenes.
Okay, this is that. Then she continues. This rivalry led the first sorcerer to feel the need to hide magic spells and witchcraft practices.
Need to hide.
Yeah.
Okay.
He went deep inside the jungles of Mayong and buried the secrets. He didn't want the secrets to be out in the wrong hands.
But why did that person write down the secrets and then bury them? He could just not write them, no?
Correct.
That would have been much easier, no?
Correct.
That's the problem in the
Yes, that's my biggest takeaway from this.
Okay, continues. It is believed that the jungles of Mayong, India. I don't know why she mentions India here because the whole article is about Mayong. Anyway,
SEO.
it is.
Has the pin code been mentioned?
It is believed that the jungles of Mayong, India, still have these magic spells. At times, wild animals appear out of nowhere, due to which it is believed that shape-shifting is a real thing in the village. Wild animals appearing in forests because of shape-shifting. You don't know because...
Makes sense.
Ashwita, we'll laugh if this is true, Let's go to Mayong, and if this is true, all our listeners will be laughing on you.
Sure.
Can someone just please fucking go there and verify for us?
There are a lot of... So it started gaining a lot of attention in the recent past, right? Like 2010s and 2020s.
After this blog?
Not after this blog. Because a lot of people actually started, like influencers and all started traveling. And of course I did not have the patience to watch those YouTube videos, but they made...
Bro, this could be a very nice activity for tourism. Imagine if people are traveling because of this. Every tourism starts doing this.
Yeah. There's a very good chance that's why they do it.
Yeah, because the official websites and all, they don't debunk any of it. They're like, fuck it.
It works.
Yeah,
you totally
yeah.
own it. It
Yeah.
works. Yeah.
And then after this article, after a bunch of other nonsense, okay, I highly recommend reading that bullshit of an article. After all of that, it says, But black magic is now used only for good, like for healing
Yes,
people.
yes,
Don't worry, people.
Yes. I completely believe that.
It's now fully, it's safe now.
Yeah.
Okay? And this is like a travel website, right? So I still understand writing nonsense. Then I started looking at mainstream coverage and it gets bad. Like it gets terrible. So one of the first ones that I found was this Outlook India's The Travel Beat. Okay. And they wrote this article where they mentioned these obscure sort of museums, right? And they mentioned Mayong Central Museum and Emporium of Black Magic and Witchcraft, Assam. Okay. The blurb says, Mayong is a village in Assam that has had a long-standing history of black magic. It's categorically untrue, but okay. Part of a repertoire of knowledge that was passed down from one generation to another, Mayong's tales of black magic inspired a museum dedicated to this faith.
Wow.
Most of the artifacts of this museum have been given by local families that practice black magic. Old coins, jewelry made of bones and shells, books on black magic make up the relics that are kept in this museum. This, I will get to that later on, but I want to mention it right away, just in case people listen to this and drop off. It is untrue. There is no Mayong Central Museum and Emporium of Black Magic and Witchcraft. It literally doesn't exist. There is a museum. It's called Mayong Village Museum and Research Center.
Was it probably renamed?
No, never. I will get into the history of how the museum, the genesis of the museum as well, right? But there was never anything like this. Okay, so I don't know what Outlook was playing at, but this kind of nonsense
Outlook didn't look.
at all. I don't know what was going on. Like literally not a word of this blog is true, right? There are no local families that practice black magic that donated things like this. This is untrue. Okay.
You don't know.
Then there are all of these like strange articles with very weird headlines, right? Like there's one magazine called Village Square. Village Square is supposed to be this magazine that talks about a lot of rural India and everything. The headline is Mayong, the ancient Hogwarts of India. I cannot.
Ancient Hogwarts. Yes.
Wow.
And
Love
this
it.
Hogwarts thing
Love
is a whole thing, right?
Are there any castles there? No. I don't imagine.
No.
No.
I don't know. But
It's not Hogwarts, no then.
okay, anyway. Make My Trip then, of course, for, again, I am assuming SEO purposes, took up and wrote this article. It's called Mayong, India's own Hogwarts, and it's not even fictional. Okay, now it's an amazing article. It is, I mean, I don't know who is commissioned to write these articles.
Must be some intern or
Yeah.
some.
I don't know, they should be trained. Okay, the article, it's like the tiniest article, right? Like 2 paragraphs, ends with this statement. Remember, the headline is, it's not even fictional. The article ends with, there's no way to attest the authenticity of these stories. But the whole experience of opening yourself up to this world is certainly something worth writing home about. No, friend, it literally isn't.
I mean, if you just need to open your whatever senses, enlightenment, just smoke up, dude.
Yeah, get mushrooms, do some psychedelics, like, please. What is this maligning an entire culture of people just for no reason? Okay, and all of these articles have at the end, all of these travel articles, right? They have at the end a things to do section. Okay, the writer
Things to do, black magic.
things to do when you visit Mayong.
Yes, black magic.
Somewhat.
Or shape shifting.
And so she says, interact with the locals for incredible magic tricks and strange stories and witness the magical treatment of diseases by local healers and witch doctors.
Wow.
Mayong is still home to magicians who have the knowledge of not just black magic but also Ayurveda, palmistry and future prediction through chants and spells.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay, this is the first point in that things to do was bullet points, right? This was the first bullet point. Second bullet point. This ancient land is rich in wildlife as well. visit the Probitora Wildlife Sanctuary nearby, home to the largest population of one-horned rhinos in the world. So, you get like the whole package, right? You get black magic and you get like wild animals, sanctuaries and everything.
Maybe those wild animals are the black magic people, no?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, they
though all-
shape-shifted maybe.
Maybe all of
Yeah,
those. What are they called? Single horn. One horn
Rhinos.
rhinoceros. Maybe they're not animals.
Yeah, maybe they're people.
Yeah. So when people come, these guys quickly run over there and shapeshift into rhinoceros. See. So many of us are here. And once they turn their backs, they again run back and become the magician, black
The
magician.
Ojas.
The Ojas, yes.
And this things to do of fully contradictory things, like one extremely unscientific thing and then suddenly wildlife sanctuary. This is not even an anomaly in this Make My Trip website. It's spread throughout. Like these guys all copied from each other and fully mentioned like black magic, elephant and elephants and one-horned rhinos in one breath. Do everything.
Wouldn't it be funny if people in Mayong, they have no idea about this? Like they have
No, I
nothing.
mean, I'm sure that the district website completely owns this, no? You're saying, na?
Which one?
The tourism department over there
No,
must
but
be
they're not denying it.
They're not
Basically,
denying
they are
it.
not writing about it, but they're also not denying it.
But there's a lot of like local coverage and everything where they fully support this also. They're like, okay, you come pay money. It's a small village. And I fully encourage mainland India, especially North Indians, to go there and do this. Please spend your money over there.
I go as a human, come back as a dog. Imagine.
Yeah. Ashmita will be constantly allergic then.
Man, I'm
By the
allergic
way,
only to some
Ashmita,
dogs.
if you had the chance, if you can shapeshift, what animal would you want to be in Mayong?
I don't mind being a one-horned rhino, to be very honest.
Yeah.
It's majestic
You
and
have to mingle
strong
also, no?
as fuck.
You have to mingle there.
And also, yeah, if I'm some other animal, then I might get killed, but one-horned rhinos in a
They're
herd
protected.
is... Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You? Sandy?
Yeah, same. If I'm going there to shapeshift, then might as well become a part of the bunch there.
An article also mentioned that do not go there to learn magic and all or shape-shifting because it takes years to learn.
How long is the course? Like,
I am fine with the time. I just want to shapeshift.
They're like, just go to experience the city, but don't go to... I don't know which article that was, but that was also one of the things that I read. Okay. Now, there is another one. This article's link I will not be providing because it pretends to be the official website of Kaziranga, National Park, but it actually isn't. There is another Kaziranga official official website. This one, I don't know why it pretends to be like that, but it absolutely
You said
isn't.
pretends. How are they pretending?
Like the
Look and feel of the
yes,
website?
like they have also put
Very
in the information to contact and everything, which is actually the information to contact the actual.
what's the
very strange.
domain? What's the domain?
I will not tell you because I do not want people going there.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it is. It's
Just is it a .nic?
no,
or
it
a,
isn't. It isn't. It
Or a
is.
dot? No.
It is. It's .in, which also means it is not
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not a government thing then. Yeah.
right. But I want to quote out. Okay, this entire article is ridiculous. It's a horribly written article. Okay, never ever read this stupid article. I'm not providing links. I'm not giving anything. Okay, so you can't. But I do want to tell you.
You
about,
can just Google probably.
Yes, but don't do it. Like don't send traffic to this stupid ass article. Okay, but I do want to read out this part because it's a part of the introduction and it explains why this article is so ridiculous. The Harry Potter series also had an influence on me as a child, and I never missed an opportunity to see the movies over and over again. But that was a long time ago. A few months back, I was pondering on these old thoughts of magic, and I wondered how stupid I was thinking of tricks like converting a man to sheep or a tiger, transforming leaves into fishes, hypnotizing a tiger, converting bullets of a gun into water, etc. First off, I don't know what Harry Potter he has read, but none of this exists in Harry Potter. Anyway, I narrated this ordeal to an old friend of mine who, on hearing me, simply smiled and replied, "Dude, it's a shame you don't know your motherland well." I was taken aback and asked him the reason for his sarcasm. And he continued, "Just 50 kilometers from where you stay is the magical land of Mayong, the land of black magic in India. The tricks you spoke of are just a piece of cake for the bazes."
Piece of cake, wow.
Bazes, which is, that's not what we do not say bazes, base, which is the healers, right? In Mayong, who can perform much mightier feats like killing a man with the use of their sorcery, fly high in the sky with the application of their magic, turning fried fish into swimming ones in a bowl of curry. Fuck, that is very disturbing. And something mightier like making an entire army of men disappear. These words almost scared the living daylights out of me. But it did help to re-instilled my faith on the practice of sorcery. Why, friend? And also very gullible, no? Like just a sentence and your faith is rekindled. Though it was tough, but I convinced him to accompany me to the land of black magic, Mayong. It just gets worse. From the article just keeps getting worse, if possible. Like, can you imagine how bad it is?
It's definitely a flat earther.
It is, no? It is. I fully agree. Okay.
All the hallmarks of a flat earther.
Yeah. I fully agree. Okay. Then came the debunking of all of this, right? Like, so, everything I read in the mainstream media was absolute nonsense. Like, they were just perpetuating this, no critical thinking involved, no actually going ahead and seeing what the fuck the museum is, nothing, right? Just absolute bullshit of perpetuating this again and again and again, right? Now, in the debunking of this, I came across this exceptional website called riot.in, RAIOT. This is, of course, we'll put the link. I absolutely highly encourage everybody to check this out. It's a fantastic website. It's a news publication or news and opinions actually, publication in English and Khasi both. Okay, and it is quite a left-leaning.
Khasi is?
Khasi, the tribal language.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's in Assam, of course, and it's quite a left-leaning publication, so fully trust it. Okay, so
Yes, that should be the benchmark for trusting anything. Yes, very sound reasoning you provided here.
No, but it's genuinely like the opinion pieces, the op-eds and everything are very well written and very well researched. Okay. Side note, in their contact us section, they write, so these context is that they accept not just news, op-eds and everything, but a lot of other things like poetry and everything, right? It's a proper publication, right? They write, "We try to inform you of our publishing decisions, but sometimes out of laziness or embarrassment, we do not reply. It often happens with poetry." I loved it.
That's fair, I guess. Yeah.
So here, the debunking was done by this gentleman called Kaustuv Saikia. Okay, his
सही किया उसने.
हाँ, सही किया उसने. He writes an article called "Demystifying Black Magic, Mayong Village Museum and Research Center, Assam." The first sensible headline that I have seen for this entire, and I can call this the entire ordeal. And Kostov also, by the way, his bio. Listen to this. He says, his bio says that he is a district museum officer at Directorate of Museums, Assam State Museum, and was former assistant curator Central Asian Antiquities at National Museum in Delhi. Which means a reliable person to talk about museums, right? He absolutely destroys all of these. You have to read the article, right? I've linked the article. Okay, but I will give out, of course, some excerpts, right? So remember how I said that there's no, what was that, Mayong Central Museum and Emporium of Black Magic and Witchcraft, right? It doesn't exist. So what is the museum? How did it come about, right? So he talks about the genesis. And he says that On September 27, 2002, much later, right? And before I continue on this, let me give some context to that. 2002, because before this, when the British colonizers left in 47, there was a lot of work done to build up the Indian knowledge systems, right? But just in general, we have always ignored, mainland India has always ignored Northeast, right? So I will get into the history of how the museum was set up, and you will see that basically it's shameful how the history of an entire state was completely ignored for, I don't know, almost shamish things that we bring up over here, and changing history books and everything, but actual work that was to be done, not done. There was never an archaeological proper setup sent over there, nothing, right? So that's why it took so long also, right? So anyway, the article says, on September 27, 2002, an exhibition was organized at the Mayong Higher Secondary School to celebrate World Tourism Day. The exhibition contained artifacts collected from different villages in and around the Mayong area. A large part of the objects displayed came from the personal collection of a local teacher, Sri Lokendra Hazarika. The exhibition was extremely popular and was covered extensively in the regional media. The popularity of the exhibition encouraged the organizers to form a museum committee of 10 members with this gentleman, Lokendra Hazarika, as the president, and Sri Utpal Nath, an ex-student of the school, as its secretary. An Assam-type house with 3 houses was rented on November 1, 2002. It was inaugurated as Mayong Central Museum by the then king of Mayong, the late, okay, I hope I'm saying this correct, the late Ghanakanta Singh. Okay? Like Singha, like the way Bengalis and Assamese say it, right? Now, this is how it began. Literally in a 3-room house. It's in 2002. It's shameful that they had to begin like that because no support given, right? And then, of course, it went through massive challenges to survive, right? And it's all because there was practically no government support. I'm not going to go into all of the details, but I do want to read out some excerpts to you, right? So one of them, it says, for a while, the members of the museum committee, particularly the president and the secretary, tried to run the museum with their own money. On August 30th, 2003, which is just about a year later, the collection was shifted to Mayong Central Library, but was faced with another problem, pest infestation. The museum committee approached the range officer of the Pobitara range is the area, Mr. Mukul Tamuli, and requested another space to house the collection. The collection was then shifted to 3 rooms of a government quarter inside the Pobitara Wildlife Sanctuary in 2008. Okay, so you see, there's no museum, there's no preservation. They are doing whatever they possibly can. Okay, and till date, the proper construction of this museum is incomplete. That's still not done. We are sitting in 2025, right? The museum still houses its rare and valuable collection in the building constructed by the Zilla Parishad in 2010. And it's not in a great condition. Okay, I will just show you the picture, and for the listeners I will describe it, but of course we'll put the link to it also. It literally looks like a school gym that has been that's not like in use anymore.
Very badly maintained school gym sort of vibes. Yes.
And there are, you can see the artifacts literally lying on the ground. Okay, so moisture and everything is a problem. There's no preservation, and due to no fault of their own, they are trying their best. Now, what's also interesting is how these artifacts were collected, right? So none of these were by any like commercial acquisition. All of it has been through fieldwork and collections donated by individuals. So people of the community, to preserve their community's heritage and history, and to probably to educate people, they actually gave their personal
Right.
collections,
Right.
right?
Family
As a-
heirlooms and such,
yes,
right?
family heirlooms. So it says the collectors rely on oral history, popular narratives, and traditional community knowledge to determine what is to be collected. In addition, there may be a few objects in the museum which have been collected out of sheer curiosity in the esoteric arts, right? Which also sort of fuels the whole black magic, narrative. But it is, I feel like, because the tourists and the mainland India, all these mainstream journalists, if you can call them journalists, they never bother to do any due diligence. They never bother to check properly. They have just fueled this, this myth that
Right.
it is black magic. And while these are artifacts, these are like, have you gone to other parts of the world and see what people used? Have you seen medieval torture? Things that were used. Like, have you never read anything, friend? Like, I don't understand how this narrative has been written by journalists and then published, by reputed media. But basically, all of these
Watch who you're calling reputed media, by the way.
yeah, not reputed anymore. Yeah. But mainstream media, like people who are supposed to know what they're doing, absolutely fueled, nonsense things. Like
Yeah.
never ever have they done any critical thinking possible in this. And they also make like these wild claims, right? In these in all of these articles, where of course there are written material available, right, which have been preserved in the scripts and everything, which have been preserved in these museums. Everywhere I have read this, every single of these nonsense articles, that all of these are what are they called, tantras, or basically magic spells that have been written and passed down from generation. How do you know that, friend? Firstly,
Maybe that person got transmutated into a dog or something. I mean, that's evidence enough for me.
fair.
First-hand account.
It's they look at a script and they're like, oh, this is proof of like magic spells.
Yeah.
Did your ancestors not read and write?
Whatever you don't understand is magic.
Yeah. Basically,
Right.
that's what.
Yeah.
That's essentially what happened. But I don't know. Like, your ancestors didn't read or write. Like, what? How do you think?
Why are you
records
looking
came?
at me while saying that?
No, not
They did read and write. They did read and write. Let me tell you, my grandfather was a scientist. He read and wrote a lot.
No, I'm talking about the journalists, right? Or whatever the
You are
SEO.
pointedly looking at
content
me while
writers.
saying that. So
I am, because I have only the both of you to look at. Okay. Anyway, so basically, the museum has been created and maintained fully by the efforts of individuals, of the community. Okay, and all mainland India has done is either not do their job or go and harm this entire thing by a shitty narrative. Okay. Also, the article says the caretaker of the museum, Mr. Karuna Nath, has been providing free services in this museum for a long time. And listen to what he says. It really broke my heart. I am giving my services for the preservation of the glorious history of Mayong and our community practices. They will be lost otherwise. I hope someday the government will take notice and think of providing some basic remuneration to me so that I can work in this museum full time. But I also need to run a family, so I run a small tea shop here in front of the museum. This is disgraceful behavior by the government. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely disgraceful behavior, right? So much effort is being spent on just nonsense,
Yeah.
bullshit things being promoted. You have provided a platform to fucking Ramdev Baba, dude, who is like the biggest fraud on the planet. Not the biggest. There is Asaram Babu, there's hymns, there's so many other frauds. But so much footage you've given to all of these people, And then there are real, historical aspects that deserve at least a space to be preserved, yeah? And that is completely ignored. And it's horrifying. And also, I have not gone into details of that because it's a very depressing topic. But also when you ignore such things, right, there are very real consequences. For example, witch hunts are still a thing over there.
What?
Witch hunts.
Who's hunting the witches?
So whenever you have like unexplained deaths, right, or the Oja or the Bays cannot cure something.
Diagnose or cure it.
Yeah, they will typically blame it on a woman,
Yeah, of
and
course.
then the village, hunts that woman. There are real consequences to not clarifying all of these things. There are, it's a mix of not respecting indigenous practices, but also mystifying and romanticizing indigenous practices to do things that it cannot do. Right? In whether indigenous or modern, both medicine practices have their limitations. It's not miraculous. It cannot change things, right? Now this article debunks that beautifully. But there are also some like very basic logical things, right? Like when you go there, you will see, and I have read accounts of this, that you will see these antics, right? Where the Oja will place a copper plate wherever you're in pain, and if you're in pain, it'll get stuck to your back, and then it'll draw out the pain. It'll get hot, it'll burst, whatever, right? I mean, this is not, roadside tricks are not just Mayong specific, they are not even just India specific.
They happen all over the place.
All over the world.
Yeah.
Everybody does magic, roadside tricks. That does not make anybody a black magic practitioner, right? Let's get real, friends. This is not happening. You remember that ridiculous article I was talking about, the one whose link I'm not giving to you? That one also says that this person who wrote the article, he says, I witnessed this in front of my own eyes. With my own eyes, the copper plate thingy. That's how tricks work. You witnessing it does not mean it's true. So it's this weird, like, I don't know why specifically Mayong is hailed as the center of black magic, while these are antics that you see everywhere, right? There are also oral histories of witchcrafts and magic across the world. Right? That does not mean that that place has its own Hogwarts and it's not even fictional, right? It is but basically, it's any such fraud, right? If it comes up because you have ignored it, plus you have romanticized and mysticized it, and the combination is dangerous. You are like, there are people who are gullible, okay, who will fall prey to such quote unquote healing practices that might be, I'm not denying that there are indigenous healing practices that are actually very good for certain things. Right? They are not magic spells.
They've worked for centuries. Obviously, they must be working, right?
There's knowledge there, but it is scientific knowledge. It is not miracle. Miracles. Like, it is not miraculous, and it's not black magic. Please, people, we need to.
I mean, half information is more dangerous than no information.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the issue here.
So that was about the Mayong black magic thingy, and we are going to stop calling it that. We're going to call it just Mayong. It's a beautiful fucking village. I would love to go there, and I would love to see the one-horned rhinos again. The last time I saw were in Kaziranga, where one baby rhino chased that jeep that I was in. A little disconcerting, but otherwise pretty nice place.
That was a small sorcerer. You didn't know.
I am one of the granddaughters of the witches, maybe. So he was like, fuck, I recognize this lineage, and was chasing me.
Quite possible. Quite possible.
So yeah, that was about Mayong.
Interesting. Well, it was pretty. I had never heard of that place before, but yeah, it's very interesting, and probably one day we'll go and visit there. I don't know
We should
when.
actually
We
probably go.
should, yeah.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
We'll think about it.
And there are, I mean, one of those ridiculous articles also said, please don't approach villagers and ask them about necromancy or black magic. They might not be as enthusiastic to share.
But where did necromancy come from? Like, have people seen animated dead bodies or whatever?
There is no basis of this, right? Right? There's literally no evidence of anything that they've spoken about.
Did a corpse get up and do that Prabhu Deva dance from Mukabla? And they're like, oh my god, necromancy.
There's no evidence to anything. They keep claiming, but they are unable to justify a single thing. The only logical article that I read about this was the Riots article. Like, literally just that. And that was written by a person who's, of course, involved and has been working with museums for so long. That, of course, he has a sensible viewpoint to everything. And he's given a full breakdown of the history. Like, the article is very detailed. Right? So that is the only scientific or, any piece of material that involves some critical thinking.
Right.
Otherwise, mainstream media has just been absolutely nonsense about the myth. The coverage on the witch hunts, that has been there. I have not gone towards that because that's a whole different direction altogether, and honestly was very, very depressing. But that's of course news coverage.
Right.
But all of these travel beats and everything, they've just shat all over it.
Great. Do you have any recommendations for us?
I did, but I forgot right now. So-
Great. Awesome.
No, but I will remember. Wait.
A few moments later.
Okay. Since Ashmita forgot her recommendation, I'll just volunteer a recommendation now.
Sure.
This is a show that I'm fairly certain all three of us absolutely love. I think it's available on Hotstar now. Please, everyone, go and watch the show called Monk. It's
Love it.
probably one of my all-time favorite shows. It's a perfect blend of humor, drama, and some excellent acting to go along with it. Tony Shalhoub plays Monk. I'm sure it's a few years old now. I think probably 15 years ago or 20 years ago. But it's one of the most well-written, well-acted, and just well-produced shows I've ever come across.
Yeah, for sure.
Genuinely, and the humor is very dry. The show is about dealing with a person who has mental issues, but they are not punching down in any way, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So,
And for that time period, that's
Yes.
actually quite surprising.
Yeah.
yes, and they've been very respectful, and it's very, very, very well written, very, very well produced, very, very well acted. If you haven't already seen that show, please, please, please go and watch Monk. I could not recommend it highly enough. So that's the recommendation of the week that I have for you.
And please don't get confused by the Indian remake of the show,
Yeah,
which
no.
is also available on Hotstar,
yes.
which is called Mystery.
Mystery.
Really?
So
Yeah.
They made a Indian version of.
Ram Kapoor is.
I don't know who's Ram Kapoor.
Okay, fine. You can just look it.
Yeah.
That's fine. You don't need to know Ram Kapoor. It's fine. But yeah, Tony Shalhoub, Monk, please go and watch it. So yeah, that was the recommendation. And if you have any thoughts on Mayong or any of the previous episodes, please write
Or
to
if
us.
you know of these kinds of, like, I would
More of such
genuinely-
topics.
Yeah,
Yes,
I would
more of such
genuinely like
topics.
to know. It, like, I'm sure I don't come across all of these weird, things that people
What are you
believe
saying?
in.
The
otherwise.
internet is filled with all of this,
That-
especially in India.
But
it is
you need
filled.
to know
but-
where to look and what to
Yeah.
look for, right?
So if
Fair.
anybody knows of such a thing, please, I would like to read more,
Yes.
and maybe you can do an episode about it. That
You know
would
what?
be
We
fun.
should read more about these and then visit these places. It can also be something like we plan our trips around these places.
I would love to go to Mayong.
Possible. Yeah, we can do that. So if you know anything similar to this, or just anything in general, anything of interest to you that you feel we could explore in one of the future episodes, please write to us at don't know do care
One.
at gmail.com. The
One
one is a
is-
numerical one.
Yes.
Or you could just DM us on Instagram. We are at the DKDC podcast on Instagram. Please like us, follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube, and do all that good shit. Please follow us on whatever podcast platform you prefer listening to us on. We sincerely appreciate that. And thank you for listening to us. And on the count of 3, Ashmita will do some black magic because her ancestors are from that part of that part of the world. So we'll disappear in 3, 2, 1. Ashmita, over to you.